Hey everyone, my name is Montel. I'm working with Nootropedia, and today we're going to talk about the fast mimicking diet, or FMD. So the fast mimicking diet is the newest form of fasting that has been studied and researched by Dr. Valter Longo in California. He's created a whole book, The Longevity Diet, I believe is the title, with a set of numerous resources and even products that you could use to improve your health span and age in a more effective way based on his scientific literature. Now, what makes the fast mimicking diet so valuable is that it is a way to receive many of the benefits of fasting, but without the issues of compliance, because you can eat a small amount of food on this diet. So the big thing here is, if you are new to fasting, if you don't have a lot of experience, then the fast mimicking diet might be a great place to start because it's not so hard to maintain according to most of the adherents. Now, the fast mimicking diet has a specific protocol where you essentially taper the calories one time every month or 2 months, and you have a lower number of calories. Now, in day one, you will typically eat about 1,100 calories. That will be a breakdown of 10% protein, 56% fat, and about 34% carbohydrates. And now that is only day one. You're going to find out that day 2 through 5 are going to be around 800 calories. Now, the reason for this is, at least as far as I can tell, there is some aspect to tapering to lower calories, but being at a caloric level of about 800 is far lower than what the standard human needs on a daily basis. And so there is some mechanism that is activated when utilizing fewer calories than normal, but still having some calories. Now, for days 2 through 5, remember, it is only 800 calories with 9% protein, 44% fat, and 47% carbohydrates. Now, of course, you can vary slightly in the macronutrient ratio, but it's really important to maintain this if you can, because there is a very specific reason Valter Longo set it up this way. Protein, for example, has to be minimized in a fasting situation to get the fast mimicking experience. If it's not minimized, then it activates certain aspects, certain mechanisms in the body that don't allow you to take advantage of all the things with fasting that you might be able to experience. Now, there's some other basic tenets that come alongside with it. You can drink sugarless tea as much as you want, as much water as you want, and there's a suggestion of using some micronutrients so as to avoid any kind of nutrient deficiency during this period. Now, the benefits of a fast mimicking diet are supposed to include autophagy, which is kind of a cellular cleanup of organelles, dead mitochondria, dead cells, etc. Then there are metabolic benefits according to the research by Longo, and there are some benefits for the immune system as well. This is all early in the studies, but for people who are interested in fasting, who want to get started but don't have a readily available place, this could be a great option for you, because fast mimicking diet is so effective for receiving some of these benefits without necessarily needing to go nuclear without any food. Now, one thing Valter Longo has done to make it even easier is come out with Prolon, which is a series of either products, there's a variety of different things that you could consume that will help with the fast mimicking diet and supposedly make it even easier to go through and get these advantages. So whether or not the products are good tasting and all that kind of stuff, I can't say from personal experience, but at the very least, In this specific instance, I have a lot more faith and trust in Valter Longo because of the research that was published on the fast mimicking diet than I do with a lot of other people who come out with research and then a product. So don't let it be too concerning if you see that he both is the trusted researcher and the profiting business person. I think that they can go together, and in this case, I trust that they do. So now that I've given you a little bit of a background on the fast mimicking diet, I want to dive into some of the anecdotal experiences, some of the biohacking that's been going on to give you some idea of what you can expect and maybe some surprising things that you can expect. So what's interesting about one person's experience, his name is Bob, he goes by Quantified Bob, but I read through his experience and picked some of the most interesting pieces, one of which was an interesting graph. He was checking his blood glucose and his ketones, and over the time that he was doing a fast mimicking diet, his blood ketones significantly increased and his blood glucose lowered. Now, on a traditional fast, this would make complete sense, even on a ketogenic diet, but he was eating plenty of carbohydrates and in fact had sweet potatoes and other types of carbohydrates and plenty of calories. So to see somebody on a diet that includes plenty of carbs and has, you know, more than just a few calories per day have increased blood ketone levels is relatively surprising to me and suggests, you know, this might be one of the potential mechanisms that is causing the fast mimicking diet to improve, you know, some markers of aging and health span, even though it doesn't require complete abstinence from calories. Now, fasting can be catabolic, so many people who fear they will lose muscle mass probably have good theoretical evidence, but with a fast mimicking diet, there's evidence to suggest that it is possible to lose weight on the diet. Bob did lose weight, he did lose fat mass, and then B, he actually increased slightly muscle mass. Now, it was only by a small margin, but it is something that's interesting to see because the standard narrative is if you stop eating food or stop eating as much food and not as much protein and you're catabolic, you're going to lose all your muscle. But it looks like in this case of the fast mimicking diet and Bob specifically, there was a decrease in fat mass and a slight increase in muscle mass. Now, that could be a result of a few different things. One, within fasting regimens, oftentimes a mechanism to increase the muscle preservation is an improvement in, or at least an increase in, growth hormone levels. And growth hormone is a fantastic chemical if you're trying to preserve muscle mass. So that's why one of the reasons why many people who fast still experience preservation of their muscle mass. Now, Bob's heart rate variability, his HRV, actually went up compared to the pre-fasting heart rate variability, which is consistent with my own experience. My heart rate variability goes up, my stress and anxiety levels go up, and it's a physiological response that is quite noticeable while fasting and seems to be noticeable while even on a fast mimicking diet. So guys, that's just a little bit of anecdotal data for you so that you can kind of contextualize maybe what to expect using the fast mimicking diet. I just want to leave you on kind of a regimen if you wanted to get started. The fast mimicking diet includes 5 days, as I've explained, 1100 calories on day 1 and then 800 calories on day 2 through 5, and then 25 days of normal eating. So this is about a once a month protocol. So if you do want to get started, I recommend you visit Valter Longo's website. It's in the comments or in the description below, and you can check those out and get started. It's a great resource, and for somebody who's never fasted, it's a great opportunity to get started.